I grew up without a cell phone. I didn't get a cell phone until I was 16. So I was very used to, jump-starting conversations growing up in the church. But my dad was very, very open to talking to strangers my whole life. So that's what I grew up seeing. So that was my norm. And
interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, you can talk to anybody. You can talk to anybody anywhere at any time. And so I just, like, people at the store, like, I went to Winco the other day, and it's just a grocery store. I don't know if Dallas has those, but
we do.
You do? Okay, cool. But because I moved towns just a little bit over, I hadn't seen him in a long time. And he just gave me the biggest hug and was like, oh my gosh, I just have to update you on I've adopted 2 kids, me and my wife. And he was so excited to see me. And I was like, that's crazy that I didn't even realize how I've just developed this relationship over time. And I know everything about him, And so I just feel like, because people are on their phones so much, and the second that they get nervous, they have that safety place and that dopamine hit.
Yes.
They're not present. They're not.
It's a safety mechanism that we can use when we don't want to participate in the real world, which is something that our parents never had, and they just had to grow in the real world, without that safety mechanism. And it's interesting, going back to your example of people confessing their love for you on the plane.
Oh, yes.
I think it's interesting because I think part of it comes from a place that people aren't used to being seen, heard, felt, and understood and appreciated so deeply by a person that they don't know well. And it's like, hey, actually, I am engaging with you. And if you just come as you are, that is more than enough with me. And would love to chat. And I think that's something that's a little bit lost. And so whenever someone experiences it, I can imagine they take it as like, oh my gosh, like, is that person interested in me?
That's
just like completely, a foreign feeling to people.
That's so, I did not even think about it that way. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I could see myself reading into something if a guy was like just talking to me for hours on end. I could so see that. And it does feel good to be seen by a stranger. Like, if somebody has really good customer service, I'm sure you can relate to this, but you walk out and you're like, man, that person was just genuine and nice. I was on a call with Geico yesterday, and the guy was so nice. He was like, I was like switching my policy, and then every time he paused, he'd be like, yeah, no worries. For sure. I feel you. How does this sound? Is that cool? Is that good? Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. And then even if he was working on something a long time, he's like, hey, I just want to check in. Just want to let you know, I'm still working on your policy. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm like, thank you. And I just, even over the phone, that warmth and that attentiveness, I'm like, you've been, whether it's learned or he was raised well, I loved it. And I got off that call. I was like, man, that was some good customer service right there. Like, oh, wow.
You definitely left that 5-star review on the follow-up automated call.
I didn't even think I should have. I didn't even think about that, but I was so impressed. I was like, wow. Thank you. I can't remember his name. I was like, he was so great.
Yeah, it's crazy how even over the phone, like someone's warmth can be like emanating, from them, even though you can't see them, you can't what they look like. It's just literally like from their voice and their energy, which is kind of crazy. So, Patsy, as we go towards time, we always love to end off on, questions that I've asked, kind of on my page. And, the one that I've chosen for you today is, what is one regret that you have?
I'm going to show you this.
Please.
Okay. This is my brother's mirror. And my sister just posted about it yesterday. And I'm going to read to you what it says.
Oh, please.
Okay. It says, you want success, double your rate of failure. You're thinking of failure as the enemy. You can be discouraged by failure, or you can learn from it. And it just goes on to talk about make all the mistakes you can, because that's what's going to turn you into the best person. And so I think I tell my students this all the time. I'm like, you have never failed. You aren't failing. You have never failed. There is no such thing as failure unless you quit. I said, if you quit, you truly have failed. And so I don't ever want to regret anything. Just how you said, how you came from this family and anything bad in it, you decided to learn from and use it as your superpower. Mm-hmm. It's like anything that when I haven't been perfect in life, I want to learn from it and I want to get better. And I can use those bad experiences, like you said, to inspire somebody else. So I don't think anyone should have regrets. I really don't.
Beautifully said, Patsy. And I love that quote on the mirror from your brother. And I definitely agree. You only fail if you quit. Thank you so much.